I'm going to do some things a little bit different. I've been doing it a long time. A lot of guys in here have been doing it a long time. But I think you can never stop learning. I've got two of my staff members here today, Rev. Horn and Becca Gazard, who don't work with football directly, but wanted to come because they knew things that were going to happen today, they can incorporate into their program. So I think that is, what gets me excited every week. We're right now trying to get ready for our summer program, which we're going to start on Tuesday. So when Ron asked me to do the Inseason deal, I was like, oh, thanks. That is the most challenging part of my year. I think it's the most challenging part of anybody's year in here because it's never the same. You have so many challenges as far as travel time, as far as the coach changing the schedule, injuries, so many variables that we have to adjust on the run. So what I'm going to show you today is what I'd like to ideally do, and it's probably not going to happen. There's going to have to be some adjustments in there along the way. I had the best program, I thought, the best summer last year. Going into the season, I have all my in-season stuff set up, and we end up going to Ireland to play Notre Dame on a 5-day trip, landing on Monday morning after the game, and then heading to Penn State the next Friday. Okay, our whole in-season changed. Okay, just the recovery time of a trip like that. How many guys have played in Ireland? I didn't know. I didn't know how they were going to respond to a long trip, physical game, long trip back. And right away, my first 3 weeks, I had a change. Okay, and then going right to Penn State, another physical game. So it took me probably last year 5 weeks into the season before I had to feel what was going on. So the things we're going to do today are outline of what I'd like to do, kind of show some adjustments, kind of show you how our program is set up at the Naval Academy. And there's some misconceptions, I think, about the academy life and their time. Basically, at least with our football program, it's like anywhere else that I've been. At Tulane, or Southern, or Dartmouth, or Wisconsin. When they're with us, they train like any other Division I football. I have time to train. It's only 3:45 to 7. Things that are different are the things that go away from me. They're in class all day from 8 to 3:30. Okay, so we can start at 3:45 with athletic period. And the other thing is their recovery time because of what they do away with us. There's no sleeping in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, so our recovery time a lot of times is more important in our training than what we're actually training. We're going to train hard, but we've got to make sure they get the recovery and they get their nutrition so that we can get some results from that. But as far as our training goes, we have some of the best facilities, I think. Brown plays there this week, putting in our floors. I think I got one of the best staffs in the country. I have 9 full-time guys on the strength staff, 5 of which we play football. We've got 30 teams, varsity teams that we're training. We've got 3 facilities that we use. So we're running a pretty big operation as far as number of sports and our staff. Our staff here, they're running 2 different rooms for me. And then football guys are all in the same room. So kind of a little overview of what we've got going. So as far as football specific in season, we've got 5 full-time coaches with football. Myself, Kirk Wolf, Cliff Newman, Josh, and Brian. The rule really doesn't affect us with the 5 in football because I don't have any graduate assistants. They would have. So I'm going to have knobs and interns, but like Ron and I were talking before, I'm not going to. Interns are your coach for you. They're there to learn and set up drills and things. So our 5 people that we have limited to football really doesn't affect us that much. What does affect us is I have 150 players, and how do I organize those players in that amount of time to get everything that we need to get done? Okay, we've got 150 players. We've got 5 coaches on the floor. Okay, I basically have time to run 2 groups. So my 1-on-12 or whatever turns into two groups of about 75. Nationally, the travel squad, I got two groups of 66. And I'll show you how we run through that. First of all, I think anytime we're training, you know, we've got to look at the game, and I set the program up based on, you know, how the sport is. You know, the game's a collision sport, played in multiple planes. It's played explosively, and it's played standing up. Same kind of philosophy. We do everything except bench press, standing on our feet. All our pulls, all our overheads, all our curls, our pushes, everything's going to be done standing up. Okay? So basically we revolve around multi-joint explosive exercises, form standing up. How we organize it. Our room's set up this way. We have 22 racks with platforms, and we assign our players to a rack. So there's either going to be 2 or 3 in a rack, so the average capacity is about 66. If I have to go 4 in a rack or anything like that, I'll need a specialist. I'll put all the punters together or the kickers. And then we have 1 coach per rack. So our room is set up 11 racks, both split in half. 2 groups of 6 racks, 2 groups of 5 racks, coach at each one. And then I'm like Ron, then I run the group. Okay, so I can be with the group one day or for a half an hour and then be the next group, the next session. Okay, how we organize it in our technology. About 8 years ago, I wanted to have a way to run my room, no matter if I was at Navy or anywhere I'd be, where I can actually take the paperwork out of the workout. The only paperwork that is on the floor during a workout is in our coach's hands. Okay? We took all the paperwork, all the editing, everything should be on the coach's responsibility. If that makes sense. So what we've done is got a player accountability sheet. If you look across the bottom here, okay, this is rack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 3 guys in a rack. My coach that has those 6 racks and 5 racks has that on his clipboard. That's all you guys are worried about. Is those 15 guys. Or if we have 6 racks, we have 18. Okay? So there's 4 clipboards on the floor with just their players on them. It has the player's name. It has the core exercises that we program. Bench squat, power clean, hang clean, incline press. It has a weight on it. That weight is the last set of that workout, what we should be hitting. So if I got 15 guys on the last set of benches, I look over here. Whoever's got 275 on the machine says 290. You're on. It says 315 and you only got 5 reps. You're supposed to get 8. What do you do? Okay, so I put it back in the coach's hands. He knows the last set that he has to do, or the weight that he has to do in the last set. In my back room, I have a database, which consists of a mainframe. My room is set up, we've got 5 60-inch big screens on each side of the room, and then we've got 2 at each end of the room. Okay, the 5 on each side are lined up with my 11 racks. So if I'm on my rack, I'm looking up, there's a big screen. It's in 5 zones. I'm trying not to confuse it. It's in 5 zones. So the left-hand side halfway down is 1. The far side's 2. The end zone's 3, 4, 5. Okay? So I can place different things on each zone if I need to. So I may have all the D-linemen, racks 1 through 5, D-line workouts on that screen. Quarterback workouts on the next zone. Or I can have the whole room the same. Or I can have nothing on it. But the neat thing of it is, and we'll get to that in a minute, is I can control that from the back room and assign what I want on each zone. I can also take an athlete that's having a problem with the plane. I can videotape it when the plane plug it out in the room, there's a pole up there, plug it in and play it back to him when he's done, without disturbing the rest of the room. So you can get instant video feedback, training that athlete, the rest of the room's running normal. Okay, if I got a new exercise for the day that we want to do. Okay, before the workout starts, everybody's at their racks. We got like a wireless mic in there, you know, the mic. Everybody listen up, look at the screens. RDLs are changing today. We're going to go like this, showing the video of it. So all 66 guys see the video of it on their screens, and they know when they get to it, that's what they're looking at. Plus, I got the coach there that's coaching them. It's a lot easier for me to do that with a whole room at the beginning or any announcement than have each of my 5 coaches have to explain it to their group. It takes a lot of, eliminates a lot of the coaching. Question?
Yeah, are you putting an Excel program, a PDF, or
It's Excel.
It's Excel program?
Then I have to snag it and put a, it's done as a picture.
Okay.
So I'm just showing a picture of it on, which I'll show you here in a minute. And I can rotate the pictures through it. So that's the main frame. So this is the 60-inch screen. So if you look here, my end screens are always the workout for the day. That's an example. So on the left-hand side, Wednesday. That's a skill workout, seeing the winner. Okay, because they lift on Wednesday. Then follow the exercises in the order. Here, anything that says chart is going to show on the chart by the platforms. So I'm in the room, on the end screen I got great big letters, power clean. I'm looking at my power clean chart here with everybody's name on it and their progressions through here, which looks like this. Here's my sheet. This is my coach's sheet, right? I'm coming back to rack 1. I've got Adams here. Adams, bench press, 260. Well, up on the screen, here's the bench press. See, his last set's 260 for 5. So those are how the two correlate. If this was a different exercise, it would correlate to that. Power clean, 260. Power clean, 260. So that's what he's seeing on the screen. The last set, 260 for triple. And the coach has it right there. So the coach isn't always looking at the screen trying to find the guys. The guys know where they're at on the screen because they're at the same spot on the screen. If they're going to do 2 of them, okay, if we're going to bench and power clean, what happens with the chart up on the big screens is benches first, the benches show up, but not everybody's going to get done at the same time. So every 15 seconds it'll rotate to the power clean. And then go face back. Then once everybody's on the power clean, I can look down the rows, hit the button on the mainframe, and freeze it on the power clean. So it won't rotate. Okay, that's only if you got 2. You could have 3. You could have, if you got skill guys and the big guys working out on a different workout, those 3 zones would have the power clean up. These 3 zones would have the bench. You know, we just assign them. And the other thing I do is I sign by group, it sounds like everybody does. I sign them by group, and I assign them by position. My rack 1 might be my, 1 and 2 might be my offensive tackles. They're going to work out together. Okay, the next group might be the guards. I'm not going to put a center with a tackle. I'm going to put guys that compete for position together every day to compete. And one of the main reasons is probably just natural to do that. But I got a friend that raises Clydesdales. And I was at his house one day, and I was asking him, you know, how much they can pull and how he trains and everything. He said he had 2 horses there. He goes, that horse can pull 1,000 pounds and that horse can pull 1,000 pounds. And he goes, when I pitch them together, they pull 2,500. So why is that? He goes, 1, they're competitive, and 2, they don't want to let the other one in. They have that sense of it. They're a pulling horse. They don't want to get out of the next guy. So why not do that with your players? They got number 1 tackle here, number 2 tackles up right behind him. Spot him on the squad. He knows, and the number 3 guys knows where he got to get to number 1. So we group them in these groups. These are all by position, like these are DBs. And then I usually have 1 through 5, you know, corners, safeties, and so on. And then down the road, it also helps my coaches to know that those guys at 5 DBs, but they're guys that are scouts. Okay, so they're down the road. they want to move up in the rank. Then what we do, we're talking about testing earlier, everybody was talking about testing. We test every day. Because off that sheet here is that empty spot. And at the end of the day, each coach hands those to me with edits on. If he got 260, he's got 260 for 3. And if he had a 280 for 3, that 280 is going to show up in the box. Coach is going to do it. He's going to see where he's at. Or there may be a note, we've got to bump him 10, we're going to take him off 10. Or he only got 4 reps instead of 8. And I got a note on every player every day. And then I go in at the end of the day, the Excel thing that we were talking about with, this is how his max is set up off the reps for the last workout. So it's hard to read here, but that says 275 for 4. So theoretically a 308 or 305. If he hit that for 6, I'm going to go in and change it to 6. I'm going to put him at 312 or 315 for the next workout. Same goes if we were talking about lower. If he only got 2 reps and that was the way he's supposed to do, I'm going to bump it back down so he can stay with the progression. So does that make sense to everybody? It's kind of sounds complicated, but basically it's just screens in a program, taking the paperwork out of it, making it easy for the coaches to record with large numbers of athletes. So you've got to work with large numbers of athletes.
Does the same coach work with the same group every time?
Good point. No. It's another point. They stay with a group for a week. So every 4 weeks you're going to have a group again. So we rotate clockwise. Okay, so everybody on the team gets to get coached by every coach I got. And every coach I got gets to know everybody on the team. I'm not going to put them with the quarterbacks or so-and-so for 8 weeks and then not know them. 2 reasons. Every staff in the country has guys that have certain strengths. Okay, so I want everybody on the team to be coached by my best Olympic guys. I want everybody to get coached by my best technique guys in the squats and power lifts. And that gives them a taste of everything. And I always tell my guys, Kirk, Kirk is one of my best Olympic guys. He's really worked forever, right? I tell Brian, if you got a problem with the plane, and the guys that do it, tell Kirk to come over and fix it. Go get it. He can leave there, I'm there, then I'll take him to it. Kirk will fix the middle floor on the other side. The same goes with everything. I think if you pull from yourself, nobody understands everything. And everybody comes from different backgrounds. I know the least amount of any on my side. That's the way I want it. Because they do all the work. Okay? I manage it, I handle the kids, I do the databases and stuff. But as far as I can't be with that whole group for that whole session for the whole week. Because we have too many guys. But I'm going to spend the squats with them today. The next squat workout, I'm going to do the second group, and so on. Those guys are doing it for the whole week, and they're here for 2 weeks. So that's a good point. That should have been in my presentation. Okay, so that's kind of the workings of the thing. Now, as far as the strength goes, and how the program's set up, we got to start with training camp, which is part of in-season. Our in-season starts obviously when they go back to the coaches. Even though we're not in the competitive season yet, we're in training camp. I think this is the most important time, and it has been for years and years and years, because this time is a time that things can get away from you because the coaches are so excited to get back. And we're not going to lift today, we're going to meet. Or, we can need extra meeting time with the DBs because they can't lift because they don't have this everything. So I think it's very important that you stress with the coaches, and I'm very fortunate to me and Mom, all in this thing. And he won't change it. He come to me, how many times do we need it? And then I always get that. But it's very easy for them to change during that time, just being around some of the coaches. So basically what I get, because you're still now, you're back in the 8-hour rule, everything else, you're in the 30-minute strength training sessions a day. So every day, or 4 days of the week, I'm going to get 2 30-minute sessions with them, and I got to figure out how to do it. Okay, so what I figured out is I divide the team into 4 groups. Offensive line, defensive line, our semis, and then our skill guys. Okay? I'm going to take each one of these, and they're going to get 2 lifts in for the week. Okay, so out of those 30-minute sessions, it's not the same guys are doing each time. I get 2 30-minute sessions. So I divide them in those groups, and basically divide it like this. So A, you know, is the offensive line, B is the defensive line. So A is in the AM of Monday, the PM that afternoon, I get another 30-minute session, so then the D line comes in. And then throughout the week, you know, this is the semis, and this is the skill guys. And the next time you bring the, you switch them, so they always don't have them in the morning or the afternoon. Flip-flop, so it's the same thing. So we do this for 2 weeks, 10 days, 12 days, however many days we're going to have. I'm going to work it out like that. Now, 30 minutes is not a lot of time, but that's what I have. So how am I going to do it? I'm going to get every core exercise done in 30 minutes, twice a week, 30 minutes. Okay? I do it like this. We take the offensive line, easy example because that's group A, group 1. I'm going to take their 1RM figures off my charts of each of the core lifts, right? I'm going to take the average of that group. Say the O-line average is 350 in the bench. Okay? I'm going to take the average of 350. Some guys are at 400, some guys are at 315. 350 is my number. I'm going to preload all the bars in the weight room with my 22 racks. I'm going to preload them, and then I'm going to post a rep scheme on that rack. And I'll show you how we kind of divide that up here. O-line comes in, a 30-minute session means they're ready to go at 30 minutes. So I got 30 O-line to come in. I'm going to divide them in 3 groups right away. 10 go here, 10 go here, 10 go here. Okay, so I'm going to have my bench presses, I'm going to have my squats, I'm going to have my power cleans, and I'm going to have auxiliary, so if they're done earlier, they don't have to go to meetings right after. We got an area that they can do their extra stuff. Okay? 10 guys, I got them with the bench. So start right here. This takes us 135 for 8. 2 guys jump in. 1 guy goes, hits his 8, spots the next guy, those 2 move to the next rack. 2 more jump in. So within 5 minutes, everybody in the room is on a rack moving through. Now at the beginning, I've got 10 guys waiting. Just takes them as long as it takes them to get started. And then they move, they do the reps, completion of each exercise, then moves to the next exercise. So we'll go from bench to squat to clean. So if I start on the clean, I'm on the bench. Then I come back to the squat. They have, if they cannot complete, now this is not ideal, right? Well, how else can I get all 3 done in a half an hour? This is the way I get it done. And it's only for a 2-week period. Or just during camp. So if a person cannot complete all the sets, say I get to my last set of bench, and it's the guy that averages 315, and that's 290 for 6. What he would do is he would do an extra set of the 7. I know I can't go 290, I'm going to stand at 270 and get my reps. And he knows that, he sees the weight on the thing, and that's what I tell him to do. The guys that suffer are your strongest guys, because maybe it's a little bit lighter, they might have been, but I don't care. I'm still within the range, I'm still within 70%, 75%. Does that make sense? Okay, so this would be an example. Okay, my 11 racks on each side of the room. Set the benches up. I might have 135. This might be the average for the bench workout, squat workout, and the clean workout. So we rotate here. Bench, go to clean, then squat, then. So 10 guys can start up here, 10 guys start here, 10 guys start here, and I leave a buffer rack in there for somebody to It's an empty rack. I'll put 8 guys on there. We also use the auxiliary racks. Okay, if we're all done, or if we got injuries or whatever, we'll have to work on the setup. But you got to have, well, you don't have to. It's not, if you got 22 racks, you have to set up 5 sets of each one and have a preload. Okay, and when we get into the season, we get through camp, so I know they've got at least 4 lifts in, so I feel good about that. Your season's going to be 15 to 18 weeks. Some long. Our season, our normal season is longer than anybody in the country because we play Army every December 14th. And then you have a bowl game after that. So guys that are done in November for a bowl game, they're doing different training than we are because So we have a very long season. And some of it's even like last year, so we can fly to Iowa. We started in Emerald, Iowa, we ended up with a bowl game in San Francisco Bay. So we were all over the world, being independent at the current time. Our travel, you don't know where you're going. We're going to California twice, I think, this year, and Texas, you're all over the place every year. So your duration shouldn't change, but what you do in those 2 days a week. Something that's unique to us is our in-season training is all done after practice. Okay, well, I can't have it in your class from 8th through 3rd. So the 2 days I get them are Monday and Thursday, which are our 2 shortest practice days. Monday's a recovery day. We're off Sunday to back in air correction, so we're done earlier on Monday, and then Thursday's more of a special team and then team practice. So we're done 40 minutes earlier. So those are the 2 times I have. So basically, I have a whole travel squad, 72 guys, 65 to 72 guys, twice a week after practice. Our scout team guys, or our younger kids right now, they all get them every day at noon with the other guys are in position. Okay, so I don't have that on here, but I'm worried about the guys that are playing every week. So the guys that are playing on Monday, Thursday after practice. We're going to always go, we got 45-minute session after practice, and then they got to go eat. 2 core exercises are going to be done each time with various supplements. Now, that's going to change over time too. And then we follow like a nonlinear type progression. It's not straight up, it's kind of a stair step thing that we'll show you here in a minute. But basically this would be maybe week 1. Where on Monday, we always try to do our heavier lifts, weight-wise. So I try to go from heavier to our speed lifts later on in the week, closer we get to the game. So we're going to bench and squat always on Monday. Okay, they've got Sunday off, for the most part. Sometimes we don't get back to late Sunday, but after late, if we got a night game on the West Coast, we might get back at 3 or 4 in the morning. Plenty of time until Monday afternoon. So we'd always do our heavier stuff on Mondays. Variations of pulls. Our auxiliaries are changed each week, meaning we're going to do different sets of pulls. We do the standing pulls in the rack. Every one of our racks got a weight stack on the pulleys. So you got just for those 3 guys. So we can do standing pulls. We can do our rows. We can do our inverted rows. We're going to change it every week with our thing. But the most important thing being we're going to be a 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, pull, push. Everybody's talking about that. I'm doing 100 presses. I'm going to do 200 pulls. Rep-wise. Okay, you got to have that posterior chain work. We got to stay even up with that. And then on Thursday we're going to change. You know, we're going to do a core with the upper body. Maybe an incline press. Maybe a dumbbell. One arm. We're going to do some kind of core. More reps. Higher intensity, upper body, and then we're always going to power clean our quick stuff. We pull from the floor. We're always going to power clean on Thursdays. Because basically Friday for us is a travel day, obviously, for we go to the hotels for home games, and it goes back to our recovery time. Coach is going to want to, as soon as class is over at 3:30, we want to hotel rest. Okay, so we don't have luxury of lifting more than twice a week during the in-season. How I divide it up like the game. I divided it in quarters. This year it's going to be 15 weeks to the Army game, so I'll divide weeks 1 through 3 as a first quarter, 4 through 7, and so on. You guys can read that. And then we got into overtime, and I don't even worry about the bowls because I don't know really what bowl you're going to be, how much time we're going to have. Some bowls we got a place to work out, some we haven't. They didn't have a place for us, so I worry about that. I worry about getting in a bowl, not how to train for it. So once we get there, then I'll hurt. Okay, that makes sense. Then what I try to do is I try to, coming off our camp training, coming off our first week, our first weeks are usually real physical games. Last year was Notre Dame, and this year we opened up with Indiana. We usually have a good BCS game at the beginning. It's very physical for our guys. So we'll start out that first couple of weeks getting back into it. And we try to stay in these percentage range. I know they look low, but they're really not because of the way that we practice and what the kids can actually handle. We're like a no-huddle triple option. And our kids go hard, but I'm also training them after practice. I'm training them in the morning before practice. So my percentage may be lower than some of you guys' percentages. But these are the percentages that I found that they can do. Okay. And then what I do is it's kind of a non-linear like we talked about. So we look back here, A, B, C. So we're in this range. Okay. Then after the third week, going into the fourth week. So I'll go A, B, C, bring them up, then I'll bring them back to about the B, and then bring them up, and so on. So it's more of a stair-step look like this. So you bring them up, down, hopefully, and we were talking about that before you get that 2 open weeks. You know, then we got 1 open week this year, but then we got 2 open weeks every year before Army game because they moved it to almost Christmas now. So how those fit in, usually a down 1 week hopefully, or at least 1 or 2 of them. But we'll bring them back down. And we'll usually be in these 8s to 10s, and then, you know, move down 6s to 5s, 5s to 6s. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go 10s, 8s, 6s. I may go 10s, and I may go 6s, I might come back with some 8s. And we'll see what I'm shocking them in season, in a non-linear, but I'm always heading this way over the 15 weeks. And I found this is the best way, especially with our kids. Normally ours too, right in this range when we start to download, is usually our finals and our 6-week exams, they kind of fit it into. And our kids are taking some pretty challenging courses, so some of them will sleep for 2 days. 2 years ago when we went to play the ball game, I had kids fall asleep in the stretch lines because we had practice at 5:30 in the morning. And I had been in bed for 3 years because it was their final. So if I can do anything in here, you know, to download a little bit, but eventually I'm going to get to here. I'm going to go from here to here and try to keep them in that range. Okay? Then when we get into the competitive season, when we condition Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay? Our Monday is obviously, it's a lift day, and it's the shortest practice day. So we'll come out, we'll do our warm-up, we use a lot of the foam rollers, things like that, and then we'll run hashes, 4 hashes. So you start on the sideline, go near hash back, far hash back, sideline back. It's about 215 yards. We'll run 4 of that, and we'll give them times to meet with each group. Because you've got, you know, 8 stops and starts. You get some time to do so. About 215 yards. We'll give them a target time. And that target time is not a dead sprint, but that's a pretty, it's getting everything. Because they can run fast. Now, our best skilled kids are going to be coming in at 34. Our best linemen are going to be coming in at 45. You know, so it gives them plenty. It's a conditioner. It's a flush-out type system with that. Then on Tuesdays, we got 30-yard step downs. That's basically everybody's on the line. We're going to go 3 groups. It's kind of like those 4-minute runs that you're talking about. Other groups that you guys we don't put time on. So 3 groups, we run 30. Each group runs 30. 30 back, 25, and step down. Go every 5 to 5 minutes. And then on Wednesdays, 10-10s, on cadence or movement. So all our defensive guys are always moving on the ball. All the others are going on cadence. Any jump during that whole session, we had 30-yard sprints at the end. So if we had 7 jumps or miss, then we had 7 30s at the end. So it's always a long side. Hopefully at that point we don't have any. Talked about injuries. We do something. You got to do something with the injuries. In season when you get them, like you were talking about, what we do is we have a system, and it's the only paper in my room. I just told you we got rid of all the paper. I need a couple more screens. We got boards in there. It's called the injury board. At the top, I have the core exercises. The planes, the bench, things. So they look under, we're supposed to clean today, and I got this on my shoulder. These are the 5 things I can do. So we set it up for them. You're going to do one of these 5 things, and they're going to be in the room on these 2 racks in the corner. And then whoever has that set of racks that day checks them off. Or I'll check them. So we take, they're not coming up to you, what am I going to do? They go to check the board, and that's what they better do. And they better have the coach check it. They're still on my sheet, assigned to my racks. So that coach better, he's going to check them off. They didn't squat today, but they got the sharp. Or they didn't squat today, but they did belt squats off the boxes. Because they can't hold the bar because of the shoulder. The guys that can't rack it, like we were talking about, we got guys with broken wrists. We do either a clean or a snatch grip high pull and drop the bar from the top. Because I want to get to the extension. They can't do this, but they can get to here with this. We got 50 different exercises that they can do based on the injury that they have. We got set of hammer, isolateral stuff too. We do one on bench presses, one on pulls. RDLs, one-legged RDL. I mean, there's hundreds of things you can do. Because you cannot, if they're injured, typically they're a player. They got hurt playing. So we need them back. You know, so you just can't let them go. They didn't get hurt, you know, going to lunch. There's a reason they're hurt, so we got to do something with them in the weight room, and then we also do it on the field. And we went to a system. Now, our head trainer takes all those guys during practice because he does all the rehab, and he knows. I get in trouble for doing stuff that I shouldn't do. So he does that, but they are all accountable. The first 5 periods of practice, all the guys are ready. Doing the sand pit, doing whatever, curls, we got weights up there, the things that they can do. And that's what you need to do to keep track of them. So, you know, that's kind of in a nutshell. I think the in-season is very, like I said, challenging, but I think that's what makes us better coaches. Because we've done it as long as someone's done it, everything's come up at least once. And how do you adjust? How do you keep them in line? How do you keep them healthy? We were talking about that earlier. There's some things you can't, all you do is train and hit all the areas. That is going to prevent somebody going out the ACL or a leg. You know, you can do the best thing to put it in the right position. Some things just, the only way that you can be put responsible for that is if you didn't train. You didn't train during training camp. You didn't train in the season. And now with the summer, with the 9-week limitation of 8 weeks, and it's all voluntary, you know, it's challenging. So question?
For your in-season stuff, where you're showing the 8 to 10 rep range, is that total reps over, say, 3 sets, or how do you?
I look at total volume. If we're in the 10 range, we're going to do 3 sets. If we get down to the 4s to 8s, we're going to do 4. Now those are workout sets. 2 more offset for 4. That's a training zone. So I'm looking at 35, 38 rep range. Okay, and like I said before, if I'm going, I look at my workout. If I got 100 presses on there, then I'm going to put 200 pulls in or something. So I'm going to have to have 200 pulls. So I always start with the presses, the pulls. You don't have to labor problems or anything else. All our guys do is up there. How many presses they get in practice? 600. Seems like. I mean, you take all that, that's part of the training. You take all that, getting off the ground 100 times a day, just at practice, you got to make up for that in the weight room too, because I think you get so much overuse. Because everything our guys mess up is enough. And they're all over. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables in season. Once the coaches get all over them, you've got to, that's why you got to be, all my guys got to practice and they're watching. And I want some input from you, give you this, so that we can try to make it with us to compensate for some overuse stuff, but also to make the kids better in their skill. And watch the coaches with some of those drills, because a lot of those drills you can use, you know, in the off season, in the summer, especially to get them ready for camp. You know, so they're not so overused. You know, I see guys go through all the summer and never have the guys, mine come out with 3 it's all straight up and running, So the first 2 weeks of camp, our little backs are shot. Because now we come up with a thing. You gotta circulate everything you gotta do on the field. I think to get them to the season. So. Yeah.
How did your kids react coming back from Ireland? Did you guys get back on Monday? Or?
Now we play on a Saturday, which I think is a Sunday, right? It's a 7-hour, I think it was Sunday here maybe, but Saturday there.
Like Sunday morning.
The opposite, but we stayed the night after the game and left the next morning because of some, they can't fly to Delaware to the U.S. So how they reacted is it took them probably till Thursday to be normal because you switch days going. We left that night, so they slept on the plane. But we woke up, we left at night and got there in the morning. So they couldn't go to bed early when we got there because they're on the, it's like this hour. So it's not time for bed. Real interesting, challenging. And some of you know it doesn't bother them. The guys that actually played a lot, as you can fatigue and then trying to stay, and when they got back here, we got back here on Monday. We got back here on Monday. And they're not getting that flat. They got to get in class. It was just more fatigue mentally than just like finding the West Coast state and they didn't find that. Because you couldn't do it. When we were there, we left on Wednesday. So we're just getting acclimated there, I think, and then obviously
we do a lot of international stuff. Anytime we go west, we keep them awake. Anytime we go east, we put them to sleep right away.
say that again?
Anytime we go west,
Yeah.
we keep them awake.
Yeah.
So they just stay awake. So if we land in Australia or we do stuff with Team Germany, stuff like that, and then Japan, whatever, we just stay awake the entire time. Anytime we fly west.
So you're saying you should fly west early?
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
we left.
Yeah.
8.
Correct. Anytime we go, anytime we east, we put them right to sleep. So they might sleep 11 hours, but when they wake up that morning, it's morning. Yeah. Just as a general.
When you do your progression, do you try to have a down week on a big game or an off week? You
Try to have it
that way?
Try to have it on an off week or during the finals or 6 weeks of the same. It doesn't work out. I just found as our kids, and it may be different in other schools, but as our kids go, although they have activity and everything else, by the 8th week, when I try to just go linear with them, here's the wall. Here, you know, and on those off weeks, I might not stay with the same train, I might do something different. You know, we might go back to the preload. Something where they don't even have to go away. They come in and get, you know, something different boost. You know, on off week. Do something totally different than what we've been doing, but it's still accounting for what we want to get done. Maybe preload and maybe doing, you know, the stuff with the sleds, some kind of workouts. Anything else? Well, I really appreciate you coming out.